Okay, it's the 1st of the 6th, 2024. And what does that location have to do with that location? I'll explain that right now. This is a fairly long video of a blockage and how it was fixed. Essentially what happened was there's this here release valve, so that if there's a blockage in the sewerage system, then it'll flow out of this instead of flowing out of the taps and everything inside the house. So this has been a very good addition to the plumbing system over the years. So we have here the plumbing exiting the house. There's a flow down here. Apparently it comes down this section here. It goes along the front of the slab here. There's a garage. It goes down here, and there was a section of cracked PVC plastic plumbing around about here. It doesn't seem as if the car tyres actually go over the section. I did do an inspection along here because you can see that there's a rise here, and I was trying to find out what was going on. The pipe could have been struck then. It could be sabotage. It could be anything. I don't know why there was a crack in the pipe here. However, the plumbers did come out. They put and I'll show the actual inspection soon. They put a machine with a water cutting device. There was a blockage here. What was growing there has since been removed. They went down. I think there was a blockage here, but when they came around here, they noticed that there was an actual. It seemed like that the pipe had collapsed. They fixed that up. There was some problems because I also spliced off here and installed you can just see the tops of them there. A fire system in case there's a fire here. Anyway, the plumbing then goes down and into a septic down there. As I say, this is just an introduction. I wish I could say it was a brief introduction, but briefness is quite challenging to get everything condensed down to a watchable 15-minute time. So there's the overall view. So we exit here, and there's the breakage was there. During the filmed inspection, which was a bit hurried, and I apologise for the quality of the inspection that's coming up soon, which was done about, say, 8 months ago. We see the thing turning and feeding the water line in, down there, the steps, across there to there. Okay, so there we have it. There's the introduction. The next thing we'll see is the plumber's inspection. They had a camera on a water cutting device, very high pressure cutting water device to cut the roots and also inspect with the camera. So we'll be seeing that right now. So this is the introduction. After the introduction is the start of this video, where after the plumbers have come, I've done some work along here. I've built this retaining wall here and filled this up with crushed rock and put these slabs down so that the car, if it was the car that damaged the plumbing, it can't do it again. If it was sabotage, it can't be done again. So whatever the case may be, this is about 8 or 9 months later, and we see that all is well. The plumbing's working faultlessly, and I've just put down this bitumen here just to neaten things up on low points and worn out areas of the driveway. So I'll now show the video of all of this work. Thanks very much for your interest.
So just entering from the top here, going down under these pavers.
Yep, that looks okay.
Keeps going straight.
So
Good condition. Good condition. Good condition. It's all good.
We're going straight, are we?
We're going straight.
We're going down the path?
Yep, and then it goes 45, 45. That's at the steps down there. That was where the first... We had some tree roots coming in through that joint.
Okay.
45.
It's not too bad so far.
No. Some more tree roots coming in on the joint there. But still,
that's the fern, isn't it? I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say so. Anyway, it's still nothing majorly concerning.
It's actually not bad for since 1974.
No, it's very good. Some more spots where there's just those joins and IO that has been covered up, I'd say.
What's that, another port in?
So that's an access point that has been buried under that asphalt. This is where the roots were originally getting in. This was the first big blockage we had.
Oh, we're under the asphalt now?
Yeah, this is under the asphalt. So this is where those tree roots were coming in, that first big blockage. And then it drops off, and this is where we thought maybe we're going into the main. It changes to PVC, but it actually has just gone left over towards where Jake is.
Oh, okay. So that's the vent there, PVC.
Yeah, possibly. So then we're following it. Following.
So it's PVC down there?
Yeah, they've changed it to PVC.
Okay.
From where that 90 dropped off after the asphalt.
Well, the PVC's okay?
PVC's all good.
And we're going down...
We're going down towards that gully. Keep going, and then bang.
Bingo.
There's another drop off there.
Okay, and you guys would repair from there?
We would repair from there, yes, correct.
Okay.
Ideally, you'd want to get that bit that was under the asphalt as well, because there was some pretty big roots growing in there. You'd usually get both at once. So
it's best to renew along the asphalt?
From where it drops off there, where the asphalt is, all the way to these roots would be your best option.
And into the Okay, it's the 29th of the 9th, 2023. What we have here is a situation where we back our car alongside the driveway, alongside the garage here. Now what's been happening is the left side wheel has been coming over here, and the plumbing travels along here and goes into a tank further out. And I think what's happened is the weight of the car's wheel has crushed the PVC piping, and that caused a bank up because the plumbing comes around here and along this along the front of this cement slab. And there's also a water pipe that goes along with the sewerage pipe here, and of course that caused a bank up, and I have an overflow point up there, and it was just coming out of there. A couple of months ago the plumbers were here, and their day was interrupted, and their day didn't go as smoothly as they planned. They had a rented small digger. Anyway, they got the job done. The post is a little bit wobbly, the top cap is damaged, but that doesn't matter. Just so long, I told them just to do what they had to do to get the work done. However, we have a few machinations. You may be able to spot one. It's in the middle of the picture, and it's the cement slab. You can see how it's running down. It's also moving. We can see here there's a the join's becoming wider there, I can say. So because it's travelling, I have to remove the cement slab. I've got a big concrete diamond tipped cutter, and I'll just wear a mask or let water trickle down as I'm cutting, just to keep the dust down. So that's one of the jobs, is to remove this here. The second job is, there's an overflow there to catch any water, but that's never served any purpose. There's no dished area to catch any water that would go into that and then travel out. And also we can see the access plumbing cap there. Now also I'll just point out that we can see here, if I just walk back a little bit further, that this is relatively level. Okay, but then that area there travels down and levels out here. So we've got an area here we have to fill in. So because that's going to be built up to, if that's like that, then that's going to be built up to above that point there. Then, that being the case, the access piping there, the one on the right hand side with the cap on it, that has to be brought up, and it has to be prominent, so that if this area if it ever isn't maintained and it's grown up around here and it's all covered, then if a plumber has to work on this, he has to be able to find his access point. So there's a couple of bits of plumbing there that have to be done. Also, I have these blocks, retaining wall blocks. So these ones here will go on the lowest point, which is just there, from there to there. So we can now see the hill, how it travels down compared to here. And then it levels up again here and travels out there. Okay, but just here it starts to dish out. So I'll have to get a ton of crushed rock and bring that here, and I can just back that down and chuck it into a wheelbarrow and bring it down, or I can back it down and just shovel it out. But just seeing it from here, that's the cement slab that has to be removed. That's the gathering point for any overflow from the tap. I'm going to cap that. It serves no purpose. This is the access point with the cap on it, so that needs to be brought up higher. And this is the low point here, so that has to have a row of retaining wall blocks, and then we have to start at the level point here and go, I think, twice across to this point where it's level. These stones will go along here. Along the back there. This is a good privacy and safety hedge I've got here. So yeah, we can see it better there. Okay, so that's the work I want to do, so I'll make a start on that now. Okay, I also want to say that we have here these big heavy cement pavers. Okay, so there's quite a few, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And when this work's done and the crushed rock or sandstone loom, you might say, has had, say, a month to settle, then they're going to go from there alongside the cement and another row beside it. And if I don't use them all, I do have somewhere that would require a paver. So it's, you know, a bit of work. So let's make a start. Okay, the issue we've got here is the copper pipe, how close it is to the PVC plumbing pipe. So we have to fit a cap over that now, and I may have to cut a bit out of the cap. Okay, well, there's no electricity today, so they're working on the electrical lines up the road. So I just used a saw and just made a cutout here, and that will now fit out in between that pinch point there. And if I go and get my PVC pipe, we'll see that goes straight inside the where the thread is there. So that's a very good design. Okay, so somebody was awake the morning they designed that, and now I'll just demonstrate. Now we have this this sleeve. This is the same as what's at the base there. It was originally had the cap on there, and then we just put this cap on, and hey presto, we've got a an access cap. So we'll just get a height for that. I'd say it'll be around about there, and we'll prime and glue the cap and the pipe in the base there. Okay, so I've made a start on the wall blocks. The start off point is this one here. So you would start with your lowest row of bricks, and then here there's a higher point, so this is your start off point closest to the row either side. Once you've got that situated and flat, and you've worked this flat and worked this earth flat, then you can start. So the stippled edge, or the finished edge, that faces the outside, and then so you just start going along, and the recess, the blocks have a recess, that lip there, and that flips over and hooks in behind along this edge here. Oh yeah, I've just situated that block properly. And then what that means is in future when I fill this, fill it with earth, that the blocks won't slide forward and they're locked in from the pressure going this way. So now I realise that this is a little bit higher here. I thought it would be okay just to run it uphill, but these have to be level. Well, I mean, when they say they have to be, not particularly, but I'd like to have them level, and then just keep on running rows in until I meet high enough here to put these rocks in place. So these are some of the tools that I think I'll need, or I have needed. So crowbar and a pick. Okay, so I'll just make this part here level, and I'll start running the rest along. I'd say that I need a few more blocks, would be fair to say. Okay, so I'll update it later. Okay, so that's the foundation done. There's a fair amount of work putting these blocks in here. You might say, well, why did you run them in so far? Why didn't you stop here and just carry the next block row up along? Well, the thing about it is there's a very steep fall into the neighbour's place here. So that's why I need a good foundation and a bit of extra earth there, so that this doesn't slip or move. We have good, from a previous work, you might be able to see some stones there. Okay, so it looks like one of the retaining stones there and there. And I've put a fair amount of work putting this stone wall foundation right up there and along here, but that was disturbed. They start again, I think, around about here. They run along here, along the edge there, and so I was able to build this up a bit to provide parking space. I need good parking space here because it's a fairly long driveway and we need to face our cars, or at least have the possibility of them backing out. Now, I live, what is it, say 40 kilometres away from work. That's the closest I've worked. I've had to do 100 kilometres a day. Now, what that means is, unless you run a new car, and to put on a show for running a new car is going to cost, for anything for the size I need, $40,000. Okay, so, and even they break down. So you say, well, why not have two $3,000 cars and keep them running? So you always have a spare, and you can always jump and register one if one breaks down. Well, the reason for that is that you'll be spending sometimes no money for months and sometimes vast amounts of money, say $1,000 on parts and your labour. And your labour's, if you don't have much spare time, you're going to be working 3-4 months in your spare time, in your rest time, replacing water pumps, alternators, timing belts and things like that from time to time. So yes, it is necessary to have, for me at least, to have 2 spare cars, and I need to be able to park them at the property. But anyway, getting back to the job. So now I've got my foundation, the rest is easy. I just grab the blocks. I'll have to get a few more, maybe 5 or 7. And now I finish off this row. We've got good foundation there. As I said, the stones are there and there. And we pick in here, we start here. The stone will finish around about there that wasn't disturbed, and we just run them along. This automotive hammer, plastic PVC type of covering, I think it's got lead pellets inside it, and it's quite heavy, and I was able to tap them down and remove and replace earth until I got this this row level. It does look like it dips in there a bit, however it does run up a hill a bit there, and I'm hoping that if all my calculations are right, as I place my blocks, this should be level to stop here and put the stones in the rest of the way. Okay, well that's it for Friday. I was going to pick up these blocks here, but I always check the freeway before I get on it. I can just look right and see if it's flowing okay, and it wasn't. It banked up. It was backing up right under the bridge. So I turned around. I put a bit more work into these blocks here. They were tilted forward a little bit, and I just leveled them out. So it does have to be within, a certain range. Yeah, so just check it that way with a small level as well as that way. Just like to point out that these particular blocks do have a fair amount of fallback. I know that in Minto, with the big new industrial sheds they were building there, they put them up vertically for, a long way. So there is that to consider. You probably wouldn't want to build a very, very tall wall out of this type of retaining wall block. But anyway, tomorrow morning, Saturday, oh by the way, this is a long weekend. I do have 4 days off. Today's a roster day off, and Monday is I think possibly the King's birthday or something. Don't hold me to that. So yeah, I just cut the PVC pipe to roughly the height. I go and get the blocks, and then I go and get I take the toolbox off and go and get the fill and start filling it on in. Before I start filling in, I have to cut up this slab here, so I'm thinking probably 3 cuts, one, 2, 3, and 1 cut up the middle, and just lever it up. It is actually quite thick. Okay, so that's from there to there. Yeah, that cement slab there is 100 millimeters thick, so they weren't messing around when they built that particular one. And the funny thing is that this front slab is bowed a bit. You can see it's risen up there. There is a crack under the car. I looked into, the reason for that. One of the reasons could be backing down, putting weight on this side of the slab. Another one could be compression, that this is moving down a bit, putting pressure on the slab. I don't know, I'm not sure. Okay, well, it's a shame I couldn't get those blocks today, but it is a long weekend, and I'll get them tomorrow. Okay, it's the next day, Saturday the 30th of the 9th, 2023. So I've just done a little bit of work here. Now we're going to put the PVC extension in. So first of all, I'm going to clean it with paper towel, and then we have our primer and our glue for the plumbing. Now the glue has a brush inside, but this has it doesn't have anything, so we have to apply it with our own brush. So I'll just show that now. Okay, so it's a good idea to wear gloves. Also, that glue is quite toxic. It gives off a very strong smell. So if you were doing it professionally, you would want to be careful not to put too much exposed work. You'd want it to look neat and maybe bring it in under the point where it connects together. This is covered and won't be seen, and all I want it to do is just be strong. So that's how come I approached it the way I did. Another thing, don't drop the lid and the brush down the drain. The brush is probably a better safety measure. You know, it's less likely that you would drop that down the drain. one thing you do have to be mindful of when you're putting these blocks in place is that hopefully this center line here will line up with the block, with the gap underneath. So, you know, if you have a corner, then of course they're going to walk one way, but just within tolerance that the line meets up with the void underneath. I like these blocks. They're good to work with. I might maybe this one here. I didn't see that when I was buying it. I might try and get that covered somehow. Okay, well I may need a couple just there, but here's a bit low, so I might have to put a few rocks along there, but I think that's just about everything I need to do. Now, this slab has to be removed, and as I say before, it's 100 millimeters thick, so I'll get the diamond tipped grinder, and I'll either, as I say, wear a mask or just let water flow along the cement to keep the dust down. So that's the next job. It'll be approaching 11 AM by now, so now's the time to do it before it gets too hot. Hey, it's the 1st of the 10th, 2023, so we're getting closer to Christmas. I'm going to go and pick up the crushed rock now. Now I just want to document exactly where all the plumbing is, so I think I've done this before, but just if I need to know in the future, the plumbing comes along here. I think that's where the break in the PVC pipe was, along there. I think the plumbers have brought it, possibly because I didn't hit any plumbing there in that hole. I think they've brought it around here, and then it'll go possibly underneath the pipe here, and we can see a piece there that's offset. That was a drain that's been capped, so that's the plumbing, and then possibly through there. So the pipe, I think they struck the pipe, and they would have had a join somewhere along here. Now that seems to go along here, across there, and this goes to, I built this, this is a sprinkler system on top of the garage. So you can see the tap there, it runs along there. It did run alongside the slab for protection. Now it's exposed. The join, they joined it on here. We can see the new copper and the join. There's an L bend there, and then the upright here. I'm not sure, but I don't think they use solder anymore. They may just push it in. Probably just slides in for making the join these days. Wouldn't surprise me. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be hard if it doesn't need to be, of course. So that's okay. Yeah, okay. I'll load it up with the cement blocks here. They have to go to the tip recycling centre. Okay, so it's daylight saving, so I'm an hour behind, so I want to get this done. I might get one load and put it in, get a second load and just bring it back and call it a day. I don't know what time it'll be. It's 10 o'clock now, 10:15, so I'll load it up and get going. I'd like to talk about some dangerous situations yesterday with the work I showed. There was metal reinforcing rods. Now one of them could have pierced right through my foot, but I managed to put the spike on one side of my foot. Be very careful. Get a hammer and please bend them back when you see them. Otherwise they very, very well likely to come back and bite you. Another thing, I wore ear protection and especially eye protection. There are numerous times when high velocity pieces of debris did hit my glasses very hard, and I certainly wouldn't be filming this now. I'd probably be in hospital if I didn't wear my eye protection. Another thing is, when working with electricity and water, you have to be very careful. I don't recommend, well, it's hard to say. The blade did need to be cooled, and the dust needed to be toned down, if you like. So don't use a nozzle. If you have to, I recommend just using the end of a hose with very low volume of water, just trickling into the cut, and it'll spread throughout the other cuts. Okay, but keep your electrical joins taped up and sealed up. Keep your cords away from it. Or better still, you could always get you could rent some tools if you have a car to bring the tools back. Just a proper cutter, just to make sure no electrical play with the water. And please wear gloves. Okay, well, she made it. 28-year-old car, a load of road base, so Let's unload it. Okay, there is this piece of old PVC plumbing there. Now, unfortunately, I think I've mentioned before, this house was built in between ceramic pipe and PVC pipe. There is some of the very first PVC pipe under the house, and yet this is the modern PVC pipe, and this would have been done probably after the house was finished. The garage would have been put in. Okay, another load of stone road base from the recycling centre. One interesting thing is that they recommended that I keep the glass. So let's back around the shed, behind the shed. So there it is again. So they said just to put it in the bin. Well, it won't fit in the bin because the bin is smaller, and I know that it shouldn't go in the recycling, so I'll place it on something and bust it up with the end butt of a crowbar. Just wear good gloves and put it in a cardboard box and put it in the bin. Apparently it was going to cost I think $30 to drop off at the tip, and that's the price of a ton of road base. Okay, unfortunately this is very loomy soil. You can see the type of soil, and that's not going to offer much support to this this slab. So I think I'm better off putting the crushed rock, 600, 500, 600 millimeters out along this edge and carrying it all the way through. Okay, so when digging this channel for the road base, unfortunately I did hit the plastic pipe. Now there's a bit of a story behind that. I did find the remnants of a sprinkler system just here, and so I thought this plastic pipe was the old plastic pipe going to the sprinkler system, but this is the plastic pipe that they've used to bring the water to the tap, and then branch off that. Now the confusing thing is that we saw here how they matched up their copper pipe to my copper pipe here at the join, and so I thought they'd used copper pipe, but there's plastic pipe. Now I'm not really used to working with plastic pipe, as in bringing water to a tap or anything like that. That was after my time in the trade. They were just they had the very beginnings of it. Like, I was working with some guys who practically rolled out the first plastic pipe to be used in housing. Now, that being the case, I've actually hit it as it comes up the hill here. It looks like I could have hit it there as well, but the leak was here, so I had to turn off the Actually, it's there and there, so I'm going to have to bring in a piece of pipe and replace this now. I think that's going to be very expensive, but anyway, I have to offload the road base there. I'll offload it here, which has been prepared, and yeah, I'll have to go to the hardware shop. Just while I'm at it, we can see the condition there of the old, probably metal, stainless steel, or you know, no doubt the inside of it's okay, but it's just that it's quite rusted out. Okay, so I capped it off with a push-on fitting, and I'm going to replace this section here. We have some PEX pipe. Have some joiners. We have these cutters here, so just to demonstrate how they work. So with these, you have to pull them all the way back, and then that will cut the pipe. Okay, I think if you don't pull it all the way out, if you go that far out, well, anyway, once it didn't work and it only went to about there, but anyway, that's how it goes. Okay, and I've got this. Bad things don't usually happen to me twice, so now that I've struck the pipe, I'll cut these in half and lay these over the top of the pipe, so that next time somebody's digging, and probably be the next owner, they'll strike this, and then it'll be removable. These are really good joiners. They're not cheap. It would be cheaper to do it the old copper pipe and soldering way, but you just push the pipe in and it sort of goes in two sections. It slots in and then goes further, and that's when it locks in. So okay, let's get it fixed. Okay, I've got some tape on one end, that's so that no dirt gets in. Okay, so I've worked out by putting an insert down into the end there that the pipe will go back 30 millimeters. Okay, so 30 millimeters is how far the pipe will go in. Okay, so that's approximately where that line is. Okay, so there's just a bit of copper in this area, of course, as part of the body, but that's what we're looking at, is 30 millimeters of pipe past this point, plus a bit of slack, so it can be pushed in. This cutter was about $17.50. It does have a habit of not quite cutting the pipe, so I've got that fully extended so far as I can tell, and you know, it has gone in here all the way. However, it does have a habit of, under extreme pressure, when cutting is crucial, it doesn't seem to cut all of the pipe. Now, why that is, I don't know. This ratchet mechanism, I'm not really sure. However, having said that, it is very affordable, and I won't be using it all that often, and it was greatly appreciated for me to get my hands on this. Okay, so the mains water is on now. So how I cut it was, I didn't actually go past this point, so the pipe will slide in very close to the middle here. Of course, there has to be some structure or metal in between the joining parts, but what I did was I just S-ed it a bit, or brought it out here, or more along the lines of along out here, and then I did cut it. I marked it and cut it at this point, so that as I straightened the pipe out, it had plenty of travel to lock in. So that's fixed. I don't turn the mains tap on very much, otherwise you can get knocking in your plumbing system in the house, and it just puts extra pressure on the say for instance washing machine, etc. So okay, well, that's plastic pipe and joiners. Very good product, and I'm not sure, I'll just see if I can get this out and what I have to do. I think they're reusable, but please do your own homework. Okay, I was able to get this piece of plastic out of the end cap. So I just latched onto it with these holders, and I got this, and what you do is you press back on the fitting. So, but what happened is this bit popped out, so that should just go back in there like that. Now we'll put this piece on just to see. Yep, that does seem to be reusable. that's hold. I can't get that out. So what I did was you can look this up. There's information on the internet. So this bit here that's sticking out, you put an adjustable spanner on that, and you push that in. Push that piece of plastic in. So I'll just try it. It probably won't work this time, but we'll give it a go. Yep. Okay, so that was less dramatic. The piece stayed in there this time. As we can see, we can just push it back in and reuse it. Okay, and that seems really good product. Thank you. Okay, well, it's the 22nd of the 10th, so we're getting closer to Christmas. Now, with this home improvement, what I have to do is just level this out. Probably see that it's a bit lower just there, but it's in the shade. So yeah, let's see, it's a bit of a long story. So the registration is now running out on that car, and I have to shift into the Camry that's in the shed. So today, or it'll have to be next weekend, if not, I have to get this flattened out, and I have to put these pavers along here in order to use the car in the shed, because you know that won't be able to be used, and that has to be parked along here. So you know, it never ceases to amaze me just how sort of like timed, or you could say purposefully orchestrated my life is in terms of timing. This sort of thing has been happening a lot. I remember when I was a tradesman, and we would just get it finished, just get the house finished just on time, or just get it all sheeted just on time, you know. Anyway, let's see what we can do this Sunday. Okay, so that's what I got done. So I got the pavers laid,
I spent a fair amount of time levelling the crushed rock out underneath it, and then I filled it in. I just brushed it backwards and forwards. There was a fair amount of with the crushed rock, just sort of working it backwards and forwards as I did the work. I've driven over it 3 or 4 times backwards and forwards. The wheels do come out sort of like that in an arch, just on the outer edge or the inner edge here, and out like that. How the actual break in the PVC pipe happened, I'm saying, you know, there's a chance of sabotage. Also, when I did look around the edge here to try and find out what the crack was, and we know that's because the earth is shifting on this side and it won't bear the weight because it's got reinforcing rods and not strong Rio. When I was looking around the edge here, I could have struck the pipe but not recorded it. And as I've mentioned before, there's another possibility of just the weight of the car, which is parked here now. Just over time, when I do go wide, and if it's raining, just, you know, that the earth has compacted down and broken the pipe, or a combination of actually hitting the pipe with a crowbar or something, and that together with the earth being pushed into a crack. You know, I don't know, but so I'm now situated there. So that's all that matters. I can get my small truck in here. The plumbing does run out down to a septic down here somewhere. The pipe itself seems to run on an angle out here down, and then down to a septic. Okay, as I said at the start of the video, this is also done at the introduction time at the start of the video, so it's now again the 1st of the 6th, 2014. This work is good. This section here, I didn't quite have enough to, because I had to raise up these 2 stones here, it left a bit of a drop. I didn't really have the earth fill for that. I got some bags of crushed, it looks like bluestone or road base without the bitumen. The problem with that is that it's a little bit loose at the moment, whereas the crushed rock, of course, is it's doing its job. It's good and solid. So this does move around at the moment, but maybe I can get some other sorts of bags of earth just to mix in with that, just to make it more stable. There's the inspection hole there. The tap is working okay. It's still high enough. These were exceptionally heavy, and I did damage my back a little bit. Using the trolley to move them to be situated was a good idea. So I've come through here with these blocks I got from Bunnings. You can also get black ones. So they travel down to about there. There's a finishing stone there. There's enough coverage to contain the earth, and then we run up here with the stones, and they're all working well. Okay, so as I say, since then I've done a bit of bitumen repair work. So there we have it. I know this is a long video. As I say, it's almost impossible to condense it into a nice 15-minute watchable video. I've been saying for a long time that probably the only way that my videos can be presented properly is with a future technology, and that future technology seems to be artificial intelligence. So maybe one day, of course, hoping that my work can be presented in a more timely manner. Okay, thanks for watching.